Welcome, everybody, to the Rescue Realtor podcast. Today, I have Jonathan Horn, a campaigner for PETA, on the show. My client, Kelsey Brenneman, recently rented a new apartment in Chicago and chose PETA for my commission donation of 10%. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals is the largest animal rights organization in the world with more than 6.5 million members and supporters. PETA opposes speciesism, a human-supremacist worldview, and focuses its attention on the four areas in which the largest number of animals suffer the most intensely for the longest periods of time: in laboratories, in the food industry, in the clothing trade, and in the entertainment industry. They also work on a variety of other issues, including the cruel killing of rodents, birds, and other animals who are often considered pests, as well as cruelty to domesticated animals. PETA works through the public education, cruelty investigations, research, animal rescue, legislation, special events, celebrity involvement, and protest campaigns. So welcome, Jonathan, to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Great. Oh, everybody knows who PETA is. Unlike a lot of the other organizations I have on the show, it is the world's largest animal rights organization. But I don't think people know, other than, the big campaigns that PETA does, I don't think they realize everything else that goes on and the smaller campaigns and what people are doing throughout the world and how you can actually really get involved. I guess if you want to start with to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with PETA and what your current role is.
Sure. So I live in the suburbs of Chicago, and I live with two parrot companions. I have Aria and Gatsby, and they are an absolute joy. They're always, getting into funny antics and doing silly things that make you smile. A lot of work, but they bring a lot of joy as well. So,
how old are they?
Aria's 5. Well, actually, she turns 5 in a week, and Gatsby is 12 now.
Okay, and they live a long time, right?
Yeah, Gatsby can live 30 to 40 years.
Wow.
Aria species, she's a Quaker parrot. They can live, I think it's about 18 to 25 years, somewhere around there. So yeah, it's a lifelong commitment.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So in addition to my current role as PETA, I'm also a musician. I play multiple different instruments. My degree is in vocal education. So I do a lot of gigging in the Chicagoland area, playing music at different, bars and restaurants. And usually I donate my tips to a different organization. And I'll say that before the event where that money's going. So that's another way I'm involved in activism and in the community. In addition to fighting for animal liberation through PETA, I also fight for a lot of different social justice causes. I was heavily involved with the Black Lives Matter movement here in Chicago over the summer. I've worked on LGBTQ rights, defunding, reforming the police and criminal justice system. I'm very involved with Refuse Fascism, Extinction Rebellion, and raising awareness for worker exploitation, especially child labor in sweatshops for things like chocolate, coffee, and so on. I was working in finance before I started in PETA and just doing my usual activism. And I attended a PETA demonstration. It was a demonstration against Chrysler for their sponsorship of the Iditarod, where they had awesome dog mascots with sledgehammers smashing a car, a Chrysler, to protest their sponsorship of the Iditarod. Yeah, it was incredible. It was one of the favorite actions I had been a part of, and I was blown away by how theatrical it was and eye-catching it was. There was a level of professionalism that I hadn't seen at any other demo. And the campaigner who was leading that demonstration, who is now a very close friend and colleague of mine, Trisha Lebketcher, she's like, by the way, we're hiring if anyone's interested. And I thought, I was like, do I want to keep doing finance or do I want to do what this person's doing, which is travel around the country fighting for animal liberation and leading these incredible demonstrations? So I went home that night and started working on the application.
Wow.
And
That's
here I am now. I'm also a campaigner at PETA. And like I said, our job is to travel all over the country. It's been a little different with COVID. We're not flying anywhere and instead staying within driving distance of places. And our job is to organize local activists and come up with these visually captivating demonstrations that we do street theater style protests. And then we also do interviews with media. They frequently come and cover our demonstrations and interviews like we're doing today. And it's the best job in the world. I get to spend all day, every day doing what I'm passionate about, and that's fighting for
animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So you're not looking back.
No.
No. And we have some good news, right, about the Iditarod?
Yeah, Axon, just in the last week, Axon agreed to pull their sponsorship of the Iditarod following the 2021 race. So that's been
amazing.
A campaign that we've been working hard on, and it's great to see that it paid off in the long run. So
it really is. I've just been involved in activism for the last year. I've been vegan for 5, but I didn't even have any vegan friends, even any vegetarian friends. So finally getting involved in activism really is what was the missing piece for me, I think, because that's why I'm vegan. But I didn't know how. I didn't know where to turn. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to start. I didn't know where to turn. But now being involved, I see how these actions really make change.
They really do. Yeah,
they really do.
Incredible how powerful they are. Another campaign I worked on was Alice and Olivia.
Yes.
And we'd been doing some protests with grassroots activists here in Chicago, and they recently announced that they're going for free. So we've had several victories just in the week. I also worked on a demonstration outside of Metro Market, which is owned by Kroger, about forced monkey labor used to pick coconuts for Chalco coconut milk. And while Kroger has not agreed to pull coconut milk that is the product of monkey labor, Target recently announced that they would be.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So little victories, they add up, they make a difference. And these actions, they're what compel these big companies. I mean, ExxonMobil is one of the largest companies in the world, and they agreed to stop sponsoring the Iditarod. So it's just proof that activism does, in fact, make a huge difference.
Absolutely. What are some of the programs that PETA has that people can get involved in? Someone like me, I guess, that wants to be involved and doesn't know where to start or doesn't know what's available.
Well, the first thing I would tell you is go to PETA.org /action team and sign up for our action team. Do that right away, because you can get email updates, text messages about demonstrations in your area, ways to be involved for animals. It's a super great way to get involved in activism with PETA. So I would encourage you and anyone who is interested in fighting for animals to do that today. PETA, being the world's largest animal rights organization, we do so many different things. First of all, we have affiliates all over the world. We have PETA Asia, there's PETA UK, PETA Germany, PETA India, Australia. So we're all over the world fighting the good fight for animals. We create eye-catching demonstrations to raise awareness for animals and get the attention of media. That's specifically my role at PETA. We also have eyewitness investigators who look into animal cruelty on factory farms and laboratories. We do educational outreach for kids as young as preschool all the way up through high school and even college. We have our Students Opposing Speciesism, which is a high school and college branch of our outreach, where we get them involved in activism and they can start a local chapter and work with other students to fight for animal liberation. So, many different ways that PETA attacks the problem of animal exploitation and abuse. We also have our emergency response pager, which anyone can call in from around the country to report an animal in distress, and we'll work with local law enforcement or the local animal control to help animals in need. We also use our huge network of activists to help out with that. So I volunteer for the pager from time to time to help out there because it's such important work that they do, and it's entirely on a volunteer basis.
Wow, I didn't know about the pager. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing that we have. Similar things that we do to help animals is we have our traveling clinic where we spay and neuter animals, and we provide euthanasia for free for people who need to put an animal out of their suffering.
Yeah.
We have CAP, which is the Community Animal Project, which helps animals in and around the Norfolk, Virginia area, which is where our headquarters are located.
Okay.
So there's so many different things that we do. I could go all day about all the different programs, but you can go to PETA.org to learn more about all the amazing programs that we have.
Okay, great. And then is there anything else that you would like to add about maybe things that are currently going on in the Chicago area?
Yeah, we can talk about a few different campaigns that we're working on. So I mentioned the Chowco coconut.
Yes, that's still going on.
Yeah, and that's still going on. We've so far had 28,000 different stores pulling coconut milk that's the product of forced monkey labor, Target being the most recent.
Yeah.
So still have work to do there.
So Kroger's the big focus. Okay.
Yeah, a few other stores, but many stores have already agreed to pull it because there's just no justification for using these monkeys. They keep them in tiny cages or kept on short chains and then have them climbing trees to pick coconuts at backbreaking speeds. It's totally unethical. It's just not right. And unfortunately,
it's horrible.
Yeah, many companies have seen why this is not okay and have pulled the product. So that's one thing we're currently working on. I'm also working, right before I jumped on the call with you, I'm working on an upcoming campaign that we're doing against American Greetings, who they use chimpanzees for their cards. And we're encouraging them, instead of using chimpanzees where they're wearing office suits or sunglasses or birthday hats, instead use chimpanzees out in nature in their natural habitat, focus on conservation instead. So that's another one we're working on. I would encourage anyone that's listening to go vegan. If you care about animals and you want to help countless animals, the number one thing you can do is go vegan. Not only can you save at least 200 animals every single year just by going vegan, but you can also reduce your impact on the environment. The animal agriculture industry is the leading cause of climate change. It releases methane gas, and that's 5 times more environmentally devastating than any of the other carbon emissions. Animal agriculture is also the single biggest user of water, and the waste products from animal agriculture, from the pesticides and chemicals that they spray on the crops to the waste products from the animals, pollutes our groundwater, our rivers, streams, oceans. We're experiencing ocean dead zones because of that. The fishing industry is fishing our oceans completely to the point where they're going to be devoid of life by 2050, experts predict. So trillions of animals, we don't even know the total number, that you can't keep track of it because it's such a huge number of animals are pulled out of the ocean every year, most of which is thrown away as bycatch. So it doesn't matter whether you're eating animals raised on farms or caught from the ocean, the impact on our environment, on our globe, and on our fellow earthlings is just astounding. And you can stop contributing to that just by going vegan. It's such an easy step to take. There are so many amazing vegan products out there and recipes, and PETA is here to help you make that transition. You can go to PETA.org and pick up a free vegan starter kit. As a matter of fact, when I was working on going from an omnivore to vegan, I also got a vegan starter kit from PETA. That's kind of what started my journey, and it was huge help. We also have a vegan mentorship program that's totally available for free that will help coach you in making that lifestyle change. We want to make it as easy as possible for people. It's really not difficult, but having a huge, resource and support system like PETA behind you makes it so easy. It is so easy to do. There's just no excuse to be harming animals when we don't need to.
No, there's really not. And even now with there's so much, it's not, I know it's also not good for you, but there's a lot of vegan junk food out there that's, if you're transitioning, you can still get a cheeseburger. You can still have a cheeseburger, just cruelty-free cheeseburger. And there are a lot of people that love animals that I know listen to this and watch this. So hopefully this will be inspiring to them. And if they're not vegan already, they'll take a look into it and try it out with some of the resources that you've given us. Okay, so finally, Jonathan, people want to reach out and find PETA and see how they can get involved and get more information. Where's the best place to go?
Well, we can never have enough activists fighting for animal liberation and attending our events. So the best way you can get involved with PETA is to sign up for our action team. And you can do that by going to www.peta.org/action/action team. And joining our action team means you can get notifications about protests and other animal rights events in your local area.
Okay, perfect. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to be here today, and I'll let you get on with your day and fighting for animal rights and other wonderful causes. And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.